Welcome to Company Mastermind. If you love stories of corporate battles, innovation wars, and boardroom showdowns that change the world, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a single video. Today, we're stepping into the ultimate tech rivalry, Sony versus Microsoft. This is more than just a console war. It's a story of pride, power, and global domination, with controllers. Let's rewind to the early 90s. Back then, Sony was already a global electronics powerhouse, making everything from TVs to Walkmans. Microsoft, on the other hand, was the undisputed king of personal computing. But the video game industry, that was mostly ruled by Nintendo and Sega. Then in 1994, Sony made its move. Enter the PlayStation. Born partly out of a failed partnership with Nintendo, Sony decided to go solo. The result? A sleek, CD-based gaming system with an edgy attitude. It was fast. It was cool. It had 3D graphics that looked like the future. Gamers fell in love. By the time the dust settled, the original PlayStation had sold over 100 million units worldwide. Sony wasn't just in the gaming business, they were suddenly leading it. Microsoft noticed, and they didn't like what they saw. The company had already dipped its toes in gaming with Windows PC titles, but this was different. Sony wasn't just making a console, they were turning it into a home entertainment hub. That spelled danger for Microsoft's vision of the PC as the center of digital life. So in the late 90s, Bill Gates gave the green light. Microsoft would build its own console. A bold move, considering they had never made hardware like this before. The project was codenamed DirectX Box, named after Microsoft's DirectX graphics API. Eventually, it was shortened to something that would become iconic, Xbox. Fast forward to November of 2001. The original Xbox launched in North America. It was bulky. It was heavy. It had a huge controller people jokingly called the Duke. But it also had raw power, a built-in hard drive, and a killer exclusive, Halo: Combat Evolved. That game alone turned the Xbox from a curiosity into a legitimate contender. But Sony wasn't sitting still. Just 1 year earlier, they had released the PlayStation 2. It was sleek, backward-compatible with PS1 games, and here, the genius move, it could play DVDs. At the time, standalone DVD players were expensive. So parents around the world said, "Wait, we can get our kid a game system and a DVD player in one box." Sales exploded. By the end of its run, the PlayStation 2 had sold over 150 million units, making it the best-selling video game console of all time. The Xbox, respectable with about 24 million units sold, but nowhere close. Still, Microsoft had made its mark. And now, it was time for round two. In 2005, Microsoft struck first with the Xbox 360. It launched a full year ahead of Sony's next system, and that head start made all the difference. The Xbox 360 had better developer tools, robust online multiplayer with Xbox Live, and a huge library of games. Titles like Gears of War, Mass Effect, and Halo 3 cemented its popularity. Sony, meanwhile, stumbled out of the gate with the PlayStation 3 in 2006. The hardware was powerful but complex. The system was expensive. And the now infamous quote from Sony exec Ken Kutaragi, "People will work more hours to buy one," didn't help. Still, over time, Sony recovered. Games like Uncharted, The Last of Us, and God of War 3 helped the PS3 catch up. By the end of that generation, the two consoles were nearly neck and neck in sales. By now, this rivalry wasn't just about specs. It was about ecosystems. Microsoft had Xbox Live. Sony had PlayStation Network. Both had exclusive franchises. Both had loyal fans. And both were getting ready for the next generation. Then came 2013, the year things got weird. Sony announced the PlayStation 4. It was cheaper, simpler, and focused entirely on gaming. Microsoft, however, introduced the Xbox One with a different vision. They wanted it to be an all-in-one entertainment hub. TV integration, Kinect motion sensors, always-online connectivity. Gamers weren't impressed. Sony's presentation was laser-focused. It even included a cheeky video showing how easy it was to share games on the PS4. Just hand the disc to a friend. That's it. The crowd roared. Microsoft backtracked hard on their policies, but the damage was done. The PS4 outsold the Xbox One by a wide margin, nearly 2-1. Still, Microsoft didn't fold. They doubled down on services. Xbox Game Pass launched in 2017, and it changed everything. A Netflix-style subscription for games. Suddenly, Xbox wasn't just about consoles, it was about access. Meanwhile, Sony continued to dominate with incredible exclusives like Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. Then came 2020, and the next battle began. Sony released the PlayStation 5, a futuristic-looking beast with powerful specs and a new controller packed with haptic feedback. Microsoft fired back with the Xbox Series X and its budget-friendly sibling, the Series S, but this time, Microsoft had a secret weapon: cloud gaming and a massive content empire. In a jaw-dropping move, Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Media, the parent company of Bethesda, makers of The Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Then, in 2022, they went even further and announced their intent to acquire Activision Blizzard for nearly $70 billion, home of Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The gaming world watched in disbelief. So where are we today? Sony still leads in console sales. The PlayStation 5 is flying off shelves, and their exclusive titles continue to impress. But Microsoft is betting big on the future of gaming being platform agnostic, one where you play your games on any device, anywhere, through the cloud. This rivalry is no longer just about boxes under your TV. It's about ecosystems, services, content libraries, and visions for the future. And neither company is slowing down. Sony versus Microsoft. Two titans, one epic battle. And as the digital age continues to evolve, one thing, for sure, the war is far from over. Thanks for watching Company Mastermind. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment with your favorite moment in the Sony versus Microsoft rivalry. Until next time, keep mastering the world of business.